On tonight's CTV News, demolition landfill could be on its way to Southland. More jobs are to go at Aoraki Polytechnic in Timaru, and over 500,000 roses are spreading the love around the region today. This is CTV News, I'm Grant Mangan. Christchurch demolition sites which may have asbestos could be shipped down south to landfill sites.
Toxic waste from Christchurch demolition sites could be transported to Southland. A landfill site near Winton has been approached by a Christchurch consultant, asking to take toxic rubble from local condemned buildings. The material will be transported south by rail, then trucked to the landfill site. New Zealand First MP Dennis O'Rourke says local residents should be concerned about the toxic waste heading south. Questions were put to Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee in Parliament yesterday, who denied hearing rumours about the toxic waste being transported.
A South Canterbury education institution has axed 30 jobs. Over the past 3 months, Aoraki Polytechnic has been shuffling positions around to cope with the job losses.
Timaru's Aoraki Polytech is facing changes, with staff losing their jobs. In December, they confirmed 24 redundancies on the back of financial losses and a drop in student numbers. This week, a further 6 full-time jobs have been axed. Aoraki Polytechnic teaches hands-on learning, specialising in agriculture, sport and fitness, and art and design. The Polytechnic is restructuring positions by combining roles, reducing the campus and corporate structure from 40.6 full-time positions to 34.7. As part of the restructure, the 4 separate schools within the Polytech will be combined into one. The 4 heads of schools will be disestablished and led by one new role. New key positions will be created, including a Chief Financial Officer, and the Timaru, Ashburton and Oamaru administrations will be combined into one.
Christchurch will be a testing ground for constructing hundreds of affordable prefabricated houses. Not-for-profit organisation Pure Advantage will deliver the housing with the backing of some high-profile Kiwi businesses.
Pure Advantage hopes the Christchurch project will prove prefab homes can be built in factories, as is already done in the United States, Germany and China. They're calling for expressions of interest from building firms to deliver between 300 and 500 houses manufactured off-site. Critics say it'll be hard convincing some New Zealanders to buy prefab homes. Pure Advantage was set up 3 years ago to promote a greener Kiwi economy. The not-for-profit says they aim to deliver an at-scale pilot development to prove the business model and kick-start the off-site manufacture industry. It's offering to help finance the expansion of any company's off-site manufacturing operation as part of the deal. Kiwibank, one of its funding partners, says they could offer mortgages to potential homeowners. Pure Advantage wants firms to base the factories in New Zealand, use a local workforce and source materials nationally. The New Zealand Master Builders Association says they can't see many Kiwis wanting prefab housing. Real Estate Institute Regional Director Tony McPherson says prefab technology has improved a lot in recent years. City Councillor Glenn Livingston says there's no doubt Pure Advantage's plan can help bring affordable housing to Christchurch. He says any option that can provide affordable housing needs to be looked at.
The Old Lincoln Library and Service Centre has found a new home with the Selwyn Wairira Youth Trust. The Trust will now use it as a youth facility. It will be used immediately by the Synergy Youth Group and Icons, a program teaching boys values, leadership and life skills. Long term, the Trust hopes to use it as a safe hangout space for young people for a few hours each day after school. The building became too small for Lincoln and has now been replaced by a new library. A vivid display of art and sculptures is coming to Christchurch. Art Box is opening tomorrow in the city centre. Emma Cropper took a sneak peek inside before the doors open to the public.
What on earth did you need?
Containers have found yet another use in Christchurch. They're housing a children's art expedition, and wrap your head around the name of it: Burster, Flipper, Wobbler, Dripper, Spinner, Stacker, Shaker, Maker.
Particularly what we were interested in this show is the idea of art, not just as something that sort of finishes on the wall, something that you just look at, but something where you start to think about how the artist has made it.
The streets of Christchurch have been filled with amazing pieces of art post-quake, but this is one of the first for children.
I think one of the things we really wanted to do with this show was bring some colour back to Christchurch. I mean, you think about kids that there'll be kids who all they've ever known is Christchurch post-earthquake, and it feels a bit grey, it feels sometimes a bit scary.
The exhibition features over 10 artists from New Zealand and Australia.
We've had a number of artists working in the space as well. So Tony Bond, who's done the big ceramic work up on the high wall, he started us off and spent a couple of days in here putting those works up. And then we've just finished this morning. Judy Darragh was the last artist to be in the space, and she put up her many bottle corks with the assistance of one of our technicians. So it's been quite a long process. Yeah.
Many of the designs are simple, from dried paint, cable ties to an alarm clock style design.
And I think kids always get quite excited about the making of things, and most of the artists in the show have used materials that kids could use themselves and kind of processes that kids might use, and they've all taken quite an experimental approach. So I think that's what kids find interesting about art, about doing something and seeing what happens, and all of the artists in the show have done that too.
The Christchurch Art Gallery was closed after the February earthquake, but it could open as soon as next year.
Well, the gallery had quite a history of doing shows for children when we were in our building, which obviously we're out of at the moment, and they were very popular with families because it was a chance for the whole family to come down, and the parents would find something that they found interesting to look at, but the kids would also find something good to look at.
Tomorrow is the grand opening of the exhibition. Crowds are expected to pour through the doors over the next 7 months. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Tim Scandrett had been a community board member for Spraden Heathcote for 6 years. Now he's been a councillor for a little more than 100 days. Patrick Phelps spoke to him today as part of our Council 100 Days feature.
After 6 years on his community board, Councillor Tim Scandrett says there was one main reason to step up to council.
And the frustration of not moving forward, I guess. It's been 3 years and nothing seemed to be happening. Obviously things were in the background, but I felt we really needed just to get some momentum going forward for the people of Christchurch.
Speaking about council's performance, Mr Scandrett says this term, the voices of community boards are being heard.
Prior to this election, we felt we were being minimised and not really the conduit to the community that the community board should be, and that's totally changed, and I think that's a fantastic result so far.
One of many first-timers on the current council, the independent for Spraden Heathcote ward says there's been a lot to learn.
We've got the annual plan, long-term plan, 3-year plan, which I hadn't really kind of expected, although I knew they were looming and that we had to get it and happening. But I think it's such a learning curve. It's a good learning curve because all that information is just goes into the memory banks and gives you a lot more grounding onto what's actually happening.
Mr Scandrett says an area he'd like to see improve is greater teamwork between different bodies within the council.
With City Care, for instance, there are some issues with regards to maintenance and parks, and that if we can get together and talk and break those silos down rather than kind of going parallel, then we'll get a lot better result.
Councillor Tim Scandrett says his main focus will be providing support for residents.
Personally, our house hasn't been touched, and we're bent and it's cracked and everything, and you just get sick of it. And I think 3 years in, people are tired, and we've just got to support our residents and getting some results from whether it be insurance companies or EQC or whatever. We've got to start working for them.
Representing his community board, a key goal was reopening Waltham Pool. Mr Scandrett says hopefully at the next community meeting, drafts will be submitted.
It's really starting to get momentum now, so we've sorted out bits and pieces, and now we've done the staff, I should say, have done the groundwork, and we're moving forward. I'm hoping that it'll be up next summer, and that it's just going to be such a good facility for that community.
He says it's also an asset for the wider community because so many facilities in the central city were destroyed in the quakes. Another major goal for Mr Scandrett is cleaning up the Heathcote River. For this, the rebuild presents opportunity.
When we had big rain events, etc., there was overflow into the river and therefore pollution. So I guess with the rebuild, we really got to look at when we're redoing all these stormwater drains, etc., that we're not just, we've got to do more than like for like. We've actually got to improve it and future-proof it.
He's joined the Selwyn-Waiora Water Zone Committee to look at the effects on the headwaters of the Heathcote. He says the big thing is to treat it more like a river and less like a drain. Mr Scandrett also hopes to see suburban sports facilities back up and running as soon as possible, as they're key to communities. Patrick Phelps, CTV.
Coming up, everything's coming up roses.
The world has a great deal to tell. Journalists from across the world report on their home nations and the experiences of the people who live there. World Stories.
Love music, love summer? Then Ingham Lazy Sundays in the Botanic Gardens Archery Lawn is the place to be. Every Sunday from 3 p.m. through January to February, and it's all free. So make Sunday your day to soak up summer and take time to recharge with family and friends, relaxing in the beautiful Botanic Gardens. Listen to some great music and enjoy some of the many surrounding attractions. The perfect way to unwind. Ingham Lazy Sundays, putting summer into Sundays.
Make your next evening out one to remember at Tutto Bene Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Enjoy a lively, authentic, friendly Italian dining experience. Our dishes are made with fresh, local produce, prepared and cooked to perfection. Relax and indulge in mouth-watering Italian cuisine. With gluten-free and vegetarian options available, BYO wine is welcome. Tutto Bene. Dine in or take away. Open 7 days from 5 p.m.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Hey, what's up with you?
Oh, I've got birthdays coming up, I've got bills coming out of my ears, I just don't have the money.
Well, why don't you just go to the pawn shop?
Yes, the pawn shop has a massive selection of rings, watches, car audio, sports gear, heaps of DVDs, digital cameras, computers and musical instruments. They have just about everything.
Sounds good to me, let's go.
Everything's as good as gold at the pawn shop. 77 Ferry Road and 396 Blenheim Road.
CTV News and Weather, first at 5. Be the first to find out about the rebuild, local politics, business, sports, culture and community. CTV News and Weather, first at 5, only on CTV.
Cupid has struck the city. Thousands of roses have been delivered around Christchurch for Valentine's Day. Reporter Emma Cropper went to help a local florist with their huge workload.
Many celebrate Valentine's Day by showing appreciation for people they love and adore. Some are taken out for dinner. Chocolates and jewellery are often on the wish list for many, but nothing's more popular than a dozen long-stemmed red roses. I'm here at a local florist to help them get ready for Valentine's Day. Looks like there's a lot to be done, so let's get started.
When we were younger, everyone was on our side. Then we grew a little and romanticized the time I saw flowers in your hair.
Where do I start? Take a rose. Take some of the bear grass. Let's tie it. This one? Yeah. Up there? Yeah. And then take another rose. Yeah. And some greenery. So what is this green stuff? And this is camellia. Camellia.
But before they're gifted to somebody today, they start out on flower farms. Moffat's Flower Company in Horswell is the largest rose grower in New Zealand. Over 20,000 square metres of climate-controlled glass houses filled with over 3 million roses.
We're start thinking about Valentine's Day in December, and late in the month we cut everything, all the reds back, so it means that we throw away a bloom to produce a bloom for Valentine's Day. So, and hopefully if we time it right, we'll get those flowers all coming for this week. And then of course, in 6 weeks, those flowers come back, and then we have to cut back half of those again to get them out of that flush situation. So it really cost us 2.5 roses to produce one of these for Valentine's Day.
Once the roses have been farmed, they're then shipped off to the florist to be put together for sale. I've just made a $160 bouquet of red roses for someone to have on Valentine's Day. And it looks pretty good.
That's not enough for my bouquet, so let's rub that out and put the real price of what it's worth. 500 should do it. Someone should buy it for that. Hi there.
Hi, looking for a nice bouquet of flowers, please.
I tell you what, I have just the bouquet for you.
Yes.
These ones here, lovely red roses, all 12 of them. Just a small price of $500.
$500?
You cannot beat them.
Maybe impressible, eh?
They're worth every cent.
Okay.
Take
I'll
them?
take some, then.
Sold. They're easy. There we
Thank you
are.
very much.
Enjoy.
Okay, we'll see you next year.
You're going to make someone very happy with those.
We will indeed.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Well, if you're wondering what else happened with the over 500,000 roses, yes, that's right, over 500,000 roses that were sold today, well, some of them ended up with our news assistant, Piers Cope-Williams. Yes, you probably do recognise the name. Anyway, Piers has been out today seducing the women of Christchurch. Armed with a bunch of red roses, we let him loose in the central city.
I'm down in Restart Mall with 24 roses for the beautiful women of Christchurch to try brighten their day. Good afternoon, how are you?
Oh, no.
I've got 2 beautiful roses for 2 beautiful women.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Well, mate, here's one to give to a beautiful woman.
My lovely wife. Here. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
You two look a bit lost.
No, we just...
Maybe you're looking for love.
can we have love?
Hello, Catherine, how are you?
Good, how are you?
A beautiful rose for a beautiful lady from a secret admirer.
Oh, great. Thanks very much.
Have a great day and happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt your lunch. I have a quick question. Will you be my Valentine? Sure. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Sorry, you dropped something.
Aww.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Hello, how are you? A beautiful flower for a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, how are you? Has he got you anything yet?
No.
No, we just met.
Yeah.
I got your back, mate. For a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
I'm a matchmaker. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking a bit blue.
Oh.
So I thought I'd try and make your day and give you a red rose.
I appreciate it.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Hello. Hello, how are you? Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great day. Hello. How has your day been?
Good.
Good, enjoying it?
Yeah.
I'd like to give you a rose each, just to make your Valentine's Day just that little bit better.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, how are you? I thought I'd give a beautiful girl a rose on Valentine's Day. How's your day been?
It's nice.
It's been good?
Yeah.
Enjoying the weather?
Yeah, really. It's really nice.
That's good. All right, have a great Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers. It has been requested by my cameraman to give his beautiful girlfriend 3 roses, one for each year that he forgot. Chloe, I have a special delivery for you. I heard he missed 3 years, so I've got you 3 beautiful roses.
Aww.
Happy Valentine's Day, Chloe.
Thank you.
So something as little as a rose can mean so much to people. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone from CTV.
Well, still to come, let's prepare for the weekend with our sports preview, traffic update and regional weather.
Meet the people behind the biggest political stories and scandals of recent times and discover a different perspective. People in Politics. Monday afternoon at 1:30, CTV.
Just 20 minutes drive from Christchurch and nestled in the tranquil surroundings of Littleton Harbour is Canterbury's best kept treasure, Living Springs. This hillside paradise offers a diverse range of facilities, flexible accommodation and catering options suitable for any group, from school camps to large seminars. Inspire learning and team building with a range of recreational and challenging activities. Enjoy the breathtaking scenery and leave feeling revitalised.
At Lamb & Haywood, we're committed to providing you with the very best environment at your time of greatest need. You can choose from the best facilities in Canterbury, our recently refurbished West Park Chapel, the Kerrs Road Chapel in Eastern Christchurch, or perhaps Waimana Chapel in Rangiora. However you remember, commemorate or celebrate the life of your loved one, whether it's an intimate group or a grand send-off, the choice is yours. Lamb & Haywood, a tradition of caring.
Avoid the cowboys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring, moving company.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Kickoff is pure Bundesliga soccer, the real thing, featuring all the games, all the goals, every week. Kickoff, Sunday 12 noon, right here on CTV.
With the week at an end, here's a preview of the weekend's sporting action.
Christchurch's Sophie Pascoe was named Disabled Sportsperson of the Year last night at the Halberg Awards for the third year running. Last year, Paralympic swimmer Cameron Leslie revealed that some disabled athletes refer to the category as the Token Gimp Award. Pascoe has now spoken out too, saying that she would like to see the award go back into the sportsman and sportswoman categories. Other winners last night included Steve Hansen, who picked up Coach of the Year, while his All Blacks were named Team of the Year. The Sportsman of the Year award went to IndyCar champion Scott Dixon, while the big winner on the night was Lydia Ko when she picked up Sportswoman of the Year as well as the Supreme Halberg Award. 2 Cantabrians have been picked up in the Indian Premier League auction, albeit at opposite ends of the price scale. Possibly the biggest surprise of the auction was Canterbury Wizards paceman Matt Henry, who was picked up for a base fee of $58,000 by Stephen Fleming's Chennai Super Kings. Henry will also join Black Caps captain Brendan McCullum at Chennai, who was picked up for $620,000. While Henry's selection came as a shock, there was little surprise when Boys High product Corey Anderson was selected by John Wright's Mumbai Indians for $866,000. There's plenty of sporting action going on in the region this weekend, including the Speight's Coast to Coast, which got underway for 2-day competitors this morning in Kumara. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m, the longest day event gets underway, with top multi-sport athletes from New Zealand and around the globe vying for the crown of Speight's Coast to Coast champion. Several overseas names could contend for the men's one-day race title, with 25-year-old Australian Alex Houghton, who mixes triathlon and multi-sport successfully, Christchurch-based Brazilian Flavio Viana, and Swedish-based American Scott Cole potential challengers. 5-time champion Richard Usher will be among the locals going for the title, while his wife Alina is among the favourites in the women's event. The National Fast Pitch Championships continue over the weekend at Cuspits Green, with the top provincial men's and women's softball teams moving to the knockout stage of the tournament on Saturday and Sunday. In football, the Canterbury United Dragons are at home to Hawke's Bay United on Sunday at English Park, while for cricketers, the Canterbury Wizards, minus their two Black Caps Peter Fulton and Tom Latham, who are on test duties, start their penultimate Plunket Shield match of the season against Central Districts at Rangiora's Main Power Oval, which gets underway on Sunday. You're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Finlater for CTV Sport.
If you're driving around the central city, CTV's new traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's an update on major roadworks which may cause delays next week. Durham Street South and St Asaph Street eastbound both have lane reductions in place, approaching the intersection of these streets. You can expect delays through this area. Ongoing works in the southeastern corner of the four avenues around St Asaph Street and Ferry Road are also affecting journey times. Don't forget that Hereford Street's now open to two-way traffic, so it's a good alternative for east to west travel. But the bridge is restricted to cars and light vehicles, not trucks. If you're southbound, we suggest Fitzgerald Ave or Barbados Street. If you're heading north, try Fitzgerald and Madras Street. These streets will help you avoid delays. Keep watching CTV News first at 5 for more detailed updates. In the meantime, visit the Transport for Christchurch website to learn more about the ongoing roadworks.
And finally tonight, let's see what's in store for the weekend with your regional weather report.
Kia ora and good evening, Canterbury. A cool southwesterly airflow blows over the South Island but is easing as an anticyclone approaches from the Tasman Sea. Taking a look now at the weather for your area. Kaikoura sits on a low of 7 overnight tonight, then a fine weekend ahead with plenty of sunshine tomorrow and a high of 21 and northeasterly winds developing. Hanma Springs sits on a low of 5 overnight, then fine and sunny in Hanma. Your daytime high will get to 24 degrees, a beautiful day to go and check out the hot pools. Rangiora and Kaiapoi mostly fine and sunny in North Canterbury as well after 7 overnight, with scattered cloud and northeasterly winds. Your high will reach 21 degrees. A cold start in Christchurch after 7 overnight, but pleasant afternoon temperatures as the high gets to 21 with sunshine and northeasterlies. Scattered cloud and lots of sunshine for your Saturday in Ashburton after 7 overnight, with a high of 21 and the usual northeasterly breezes. And Timaru, a fine weekend ahead after 7 overnight with plenty of sunshine tomorrow, the high getting to 21 degrees with northeasterly winds developing. In other areas now, Arthur's Pass on 5 degrees, most other areas on 7 with Greymouth on 8. Highs tomorrow ranging between 20 and 23 degrees. Greymouth having some cloud throughout the day, all other areas having a beautifully fine day. Looking ahead for Canterbury, fine on Sunday with sunny periods and some high cloud and breezy northeasterly winds. Warm on Monday and Tuesday with thick high cloud and moderate to fresh northerly winds. That's it from me. Have a great weekend and we'll have another update for you on Monday.
That's CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.